The more hands-on experience, the better.
Welcome to the Sowing Seed Podcast. One guy's thoughts on family, faith, farming, and financial freedom. Now, here's your host, a former Air Force pilot, pizza delivery man, and gumball machine guru, Matt Miller.
About a year ago, we finished up the last of our kids going through driving training and getting their driver's license. And in talking to a bunch of other adults out and about just living life in similar situations, our methods are probably or appear to be a bit different than many families out there. And I think the main reason why, quite honestly, is because after spending 5 years as an Air Force instructor pilot, thousands of hours in an airplane teaching students how to fly, my philosophy on learning and in teaching teenagers how to drive is a little bit different than many. So I thought I'd take a minute for what it's worth and share some of my thoughts. I guess the big thing that I would say, and just to kind of paint a picture for you guys, all 3 of our kids got their learner's permit 9 to 12 months in advance of actually getting their driver's license when they turned 16. Now, my philosophy has always paralleled the way we taught students how to fly in the airplane. And that was the more stick time that you can give the student, the better and safer they will be. And of course, early on with you in the car, there's an opportunity for correction and an opportunity to, of course, prevent any type of permanent damage. Well, the same thing is true in driving a car. And so when all 3 of my kids got their learner's permit, I'd get home from work doing what I did. And in all 3 cases, it was dark. I threw them the keys and I said, let's go out for a ride. Probably the most stressful ride they have ever been on. But here's the thing. I bet, or I can almost guarantee, it was one of the safest rides that they had ever been on also, because they were so stressed out and so concerned for themselves, their safety, and of course, trying to learn new things. I know many will take time, go out into the parking lot and drive and this and that and everything else. I just have never done that. Not to say that that can't work and hasn't worked successfully for parents through the ages, but they've got to have the experience. And there's no better time for them to have the experience than when you, mom or dad, are in the car with them. So get them in the car as often as possible, because you want that driving experience when you're there, not when they're out on their own for the first time. So during that year, when the kids are driving under their permit, I throw them the keys as much as possible. I get them involved in any scenario that I can, whether it be doing some driving in the city after they've been driving out here around EIO for a while first, obviously. But before long, they're going to be in those situations. And it's better that they're in those situations first with some coaching from mom and dad. Guys, it's similar thought process, and why the Air Force has what they call Operation Red Flag, where they do simulated wargaming, where they actually have pilots from all different types of aircraft come in and participate in wartime scenarios or war games. Because what they figured out over the years is the survivability rate of the pilots who had at least, I think it was 10 quote unquote combat missions, went through the roof. So the quickest way to get those quote unquote 10 combat missions, especially during peacetime, was to simulate those combat missions. And after flying those 10 missions, the chance of those pilots performing under pressure and surviving in a real world scenario was significantly higher. Well, that same thing can be applied to teaching our kids how to drive. It can be applied, quite honestly, to anything for that matter. The more experience you have, the better off you're going to be. So as a parent who may have kids going through driving training right now, or may have their learner's permit, I encourage you to give them as much driving experience as you possibly can, because it's a lot better for it to be happening with you in the car than it is when they're on their own and put in certain scenarios without you there after they turn 16. Hope this helps, guys. God bless you.
Thanks for listening. Check out our website, sowingseed.net, the Sowing Seed channel on YouTube, and if you got something out of today's podcast, give us a 5-star review on your podcast player of choice. Until next time, go plant the seed you need to succeed.